The other day at my club, we tied a P-quill Damsel, and it looks like this right here. We have really good success with those in the late summer months. They're very good for still water, both in the plains and also up in the high country. We start off with the reason it's called the P-quill is because I found several years back that porcupine quills make a very good body for this damselfly. So I'll take a quill, as you can see here, and then I have segmented it with a tool that my buddy made me. He just took forceps and ground them down so that when you pinch it onto the quill, it forms the segments there. Then with a magic marker, the fine point magic marker, I have highlighted the segments to set them out better. Then I took a light blue magic marker and covered over the entire quill so you have your black segments and a blue body to your damsel. Now you can do this in several colors because damsels come in blue and in red and in green that I have seen, and so you can use those colors also. So I have wrapped a scud hook or caddis pupa hook in blue, and now I'm going to add my eyes, which are made out of a very, very heavy leader material or a heavy fishing line, whichever you want to use. I'm going to figure eight those on, and I found that it's easier to put them on this way than to try and tie the flies on after you have them burnt, because they'll always pop out of my hand and I lose them. And then I'm going to make a half hitch here, because invariably it's going to burn my thread, and I want to have it tied on, secured there. And I'm even going to add a little drop of super glue to it. So I'm going to let that dry. After that's dried, I'm going to take my lighter and touch that. And you see, it burnt my thread. But I have one of the eyes done. And then I'm going to turn it over the other way. And burn the other eye in. So they look like that. And while I'm here, I'm going to take and touch these eyes with a black magic marker. After rewrapping my thread, I'm going to tie on my porcupine quill body. And this is very easy because these porcupine quills have barbs on them, so your thread sticks real well to them, and they're very easy to tie on because they don't want to slip away. So I'm going to work down my body just like that. Next comes the thorax, which is just simply craft foam, the 2 millimeter craft foam that you can buy in all of your dime stores or Hobby Lobby or wherever, or fly shops. I'm going to tie that in, and I'm using a blue, which again, as I said, you can make your tail out of red and then use red craft foam or green craft foam, whatever you want there. So I've got my foam tied in. Now I'm going to use a hackle, grizzly hackle, that's going to match the size of the hook I'm using. It can even be a little bit bigger, and tie that in. And then I'm also going to tie in, and this is something that I don't tie on my flies that I use to fish with, because I found I've caught just as many, if not more, fish without the wings, and the wings just kind of get in the way. But I use vacuum seal bags and cut these out of vacuum seal bags and then tie these on as wings. I'm going to use them because I know that if I don't, you guys are going to say, well, a damselfly has wings. And so I'm going to tie these in, trim this off, and tie my other side in. The same way. And yeah, that looks about the same length. So I've got those tied in. I'm going to trim this tag off. Get my scissors there. There we go. Okay. Then I'll advance my hackle up. Should have used hackle pliers. Don't see any handy right here. And then tie your hackle down. snip the tag off. And then I'm going to trim the top part of this hackle off so that I can pull my thorax back over the top. Keeping your wings kind of down where they belong. So hold this down and tie this body off, your thorax off, right behind the eyes. After cutting that tag off, I'm going to tie it down, bring the thread forward, and then put a half hitch in it. Like that. Okay, then come in and trim the bottom part of the hackle off so that your damsel lays flat on the water. Then if you want to, you can add markings to it on the top. These aren't necessary, but you want to kind of try and sell it to fishermen also. And that's your P-quill Damsel.